1. The initial stage of the process is grieving. Give yourself enough time to grieve, which should be your initial course of action. You don't want to repress your emotions, so let them out, Sherman advises. In order to concentrate on letting go of it rather than holding onto it, you should also make sure to talk through any grievances you may be experiencing. 2. Add another person to your speed dial. According to Sherman, if you're accustomed to telling that individual the good or the terrible news, you're somewhat vulnerable to it every time something occurs. Add your mother or best friend on your fast dial. Or, you might call them when you're in a vulnerable situation. If there are specific times that you're used to talking to that person, just start sort of connecting more with someone else. 3. Establish daily routines. According to Sherman, this might present a dilemma, particularly in the beginning when you need to set aside time for grieving. Yet, your day shouldn't be mostly consumed by grieving. In order to avoid moping around all the time, Sherman advises keeping occupied and planning your days at the beginning. 4. Pay more attention to self-care. You'll be emotionally exhausted, so take care of yourself, advises Sherman. It is the ideal moment to give your undivided attention to you and make sure your requirements are being satisfied. Pay attention to your personal growth and self-worth because sometimes those things take a knock. Whether that be through physical activity, a hobby, something you really enjoy doing, or learning. As a result, you feel like your best version of yourself and your confidence has returned. 5. Advance in your upcoming connection. Find out why your relationship didn't work, and make sure the next person you date doesn't possess that trait. You'll realize there's a reason you broke up with the individual, and once you realize you're just not going to put up with it moving forward. Sherman says you'll make decisions with that in mind. Then you won't have to cope with that in the next relationship. 6. Be enthusiastic about the future. You no longer need to think about anyone else. Your future is fully up to you. Making a vision board outlining your objectives for the upcoming months can be inspiring, according to Sherman, since it encourages you to keep your eyes on the prize. You can do this to start looking forward to the future rather than dwelling on the past. 7. Delete all of your photos and social media accounts, but don't do it hastily. Sherman advises against throwing everything away in a fit of rage since you never know when you might need a photo or two. If you're going to be upset, put the pictures away if they're all out. Then, you can select what should be kept or discarded. Also, you should prepare to distance yourself from that individual by unfollowing or blocking them on social media. If you don't want to offend the person you're attempting to get over, Sherman advises you to let them know you're doing this. 8. If communication is getting in the way, stop doing it. Taking someone else's online space goes hand in hand with this. In the long term, it will be far more difficult to get over someone if you keep talking to them or hook up with them, especially if you're secretly hoping for a change of heart. Sherman asserts that waiting around for 6 months in the hopes that the other person will change their mind and return is unhealthy since it involves not being present. It ignores reality as it currently exists. 9. Recognize your value. A breakup doesn't make you unlovable or unpleasant, so keep that in mind. Internalizing false self-perceptions can be harmful. Instead, concentrate on your strongest traits. Sherman advises you to list 25 qualities that make you a desirable catch. You should review that before you start dating. 10. Watch out for rebounds. Each has a different version of this situation. Sherman advises that it's vital to exercise a little caution while dealing with the rebound issue. First of all, you risk hurting the other person. Moreover, if you're already unhappy, it's possible that your mental state isn't prepared to handle extra feelings. If they can handle it and are aware of it, it may help some people return to the world without becoming overly intense.